Thank you for those words, Obsidian. I am the song, she said. You are the song. I'd like to introduce our guest speaker for today. Juan Webster holds the first ever corporate director of social impact position at the Sagamore Pendry Hotel, where he creates and implements programs and processes to expand the hotel's positive impact within the Baltimore community. A strong advocate for diversity and inclusion, Mr. Webster also ensures the hotel fosters equitable practices that reach the hotel and beyond. Mr. Webster also shows his support for the Baltimore community by partnering with local organizations, including Baltimore City Schools, where he has helped uplift students and amplify their achievements, both academically and through service. I will say, as a side note, I watched him engage because he knows some of the graduates here today. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Juan Webster.
Good afternoon. I think you can do better than that. I heard you in the beginning. Good afternoon. All right. Special shout out to the class of 2022. Yes. Thank you for being here today. All of you, especially the graduates. Yeah. And you who made the sacrifices. I can't forget the supporting cast. That's the educators, parents, daycare providers, employers, transportation professionals, guidance counselors, probation officers, healthcare providers, mental health professionals, family, friends, and I gotta give a special shout out to the grandmothers in the house. Grandmothers always have a special place for me. So you made it, and we're here. My point in acknowledging all of those is the fact that you should be reminded that you didn't do it alone, graduates. If we're being real, we're always never alone, or at least we don't have to be. Congratulations on your accomplishments. Today, I just want to remind you, you can do many things. You can do great things, and please be mindful. At this very moment, you have control of your destiny, right? So as we reflect on your journey to get here, I just want to remind you that, listen, a little adversity can make you more equipped and less fragile for what we call the real world. Huh? Today is a major milestone, and even through this moment, you may have been delayed, some of you. But at this point, you can never be denied. As your next chapter begins, I want to impart with you a reminder about life, hospitality, and luxury. Because my purpose, my life, and my career has been aligned, and I'm fortunate. It's been aligned by my creator, our creator, personally and professionally. So I'm a little biased to the life of hospitality, so forgive me for that. But there are three things that I just want to leave you with quickly. And I challenge you with this class of 2022. The first thing, always be a gracious host. What that means. Find a way to spend the rest of your life providing service to others with the expectation that sometimes nothing may be not returned. You hear what I'm saying? Treat people, no matter where you are, as if you were welcoming them into your home, into grandma's house. Make the life and the people around you feel like it's grandma's house, warm, welcome, hospitable, like it's your own party, like somewhere where you belong and you feel respected and supported. That's how you should treat people. Stop hanging around those that don't make you feel that way. It's time to separate yourselves. Because in my mind, those that are not there to uplift you, they're pigeons, and you are an eagle. So let's be a gracious host. Number 2, be a tourist. This is my hospitality plug. Be a tourist and be an ambassador in your own city and in your own neighborhood. The assets and highlights that Baltimore has to offer are often hidden. If you live over east, you have to embrace the greatness that's over west. Right? If you live over west, you have to discover and appreciate what's over east. And maybe you're rich, or from what I learned in Baltimore, raised in Cherry Hill. Huh? You have to visit the north part of the city to find out what assets are there. My point is, show up. Show up to festivals and concerts and sporting events and activities. Show up where you belong. Remember, this is our city. And if you're going to embrace it, and if we're going to grow, you have to be willing to be a tourist. Remind people that Baltimore is so much more than crabs and Orioles, the Ravens, crime, or whatever you hear about Baltimore outside of the greatness that we have that's within. We can show off for our visitors, but remember, we have to show off for each other first before the visitors get here. Then we can all put on together. The last thing, you have to understand and embrace what real toughness is. I want to break that down real quickly. Real toughness. Toughness is not about how many times you failed and got back up. Toughness is not about being the top of the class. It's about finishing. Toughness is not about how many fights you've won or who fears you in these streets. Toughness is not about who you told how you feel and don't come for you or at you. Toughness is often after you go through a challenging time, face adversity, been skipped over, didn't make the original graduation, hit rock bottom. What toughness is, you can still show up with a smile. So real toughness, ladies and gentlemen, real toughness wears a smile. I had to tell you what real toughness is. Those are the 3. Be a gracious host, be a tourist and ambassador, and understand to embrace what real toughness is. The last thing, this is a bonus. The bonus is about luxury. I know you young folks like luxury. I get it. Luxury, I want to tell you what luxury is about. Listening to all these things. I need to leave you with something that's relevant and timely. Luxury, it's not about the brand names. It's not about the business. It's not about Louis Vuitton, Prada, Dior, Gucci. Right? It's not about the red bottoms or the off-whites. It's not about how expensive something is or isn't. Your belt, your shoes, the watch, the hoodie, whatever you ask grandma to buy, support you through that graduation gift. Those things won't change the inside of you. Those are brands. And I like some of those brands, so don't get the message twisted. But your belt, your shoes, your hoodie, that won't change you on the inside. Matter of fact, we should stop that for a minute, and while you're at it, support small, local, minority, and black-owned businesses. You gotta start supporting those brands too. But luxury is not about location. Luxury is not about access. Luxury, class of 22, luxury is not about any of these things. What real luxury is luxury is about how you make people feel. That's it, that's the message. Luxury is about how you make people feel. And what I'll leave you with is those setbacks that you had, whatever you went through to get you to this point. I'm hoping and praying, and I want to encourage you, be reminded, those were just a setup for a real big, major comeback. One last thing that I have to do, because as you mentioned in the beginning, I didn't know this, but upon my arrival, I didn't run into one of my students, because I'm not in the educational system, but I ran into one of my people that works at my property, and it made my day. So Andre Sheeran, I got to give you a shout out. Congratulations. Edmondson West Side, class of 2022, Dre. Yep. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't have a lot of time. May God be with you and for you. And before you ask, yes, we are hiring. Come and see me. Congratulations.